it's cool when you can see like how many people have actually walked here. It's quite a lot. People really like this place. It'll be interesting to see what happens when my like pseudo shadow banned channel like meets like popular algorithm. That'll be interesting to see, because I'm kind of a bit of a rabbit hole, like I'm not really trying to get noticed or famous. I feel like when inevitably that does happen, and I really mean this, inevitably that happens, it will equally be my destruction, kind of like meeting the Hindu gods, where like I will be both life and death at the same time. I will be birth and destruction at the same time. I will be annihilation but also endless creation at the same time. It'll be so much energy, and it won't be all at once, right? Like it has to manifest. It has to like bloom into existence. It has to like a fractal, or like a drop of water, or really any representation of mathematics that you see graphed for the Fibonacci sequence or whatever. Planets spinning, gravity moving, electrons interacting, however you want to visually add a metaphor to it. When this all happens, it's gonna be glorious, but also it'll be my demise, and like it'll be kind of beautiful to behold that as I like move through the eye of the needle. Like, what is my life gonna be like after I'm noticed, after people are looking back at me, after people are analyzing me in ways that I didn't even think were possible? Like, will they destroy me? Will they decide, sorry, you're too much like Charles Manson? Like, even if you're not planning anything, too many people are listening to you, and like, we don't just want you off TikTok, we want you dead. Like, I'm not really so sure that would be necessary for somebody like me. I don't think that I say enough troublesome shit to be like worth trying to like I don't know. So I think what's interesting for me is like I don't really have like a specific dogma that I adhere to. Like, I'm not a National Socialist. I'm not any really type of socialist as far as I can tell. At least not that I can think of. I definitely think that I'm some form of, like most whack jobs, radical deconstructionist. I think that a lot of the systems we have need to be disestablished, not transformed. And I think that until we shut them down and we have real talks about the repercussions to that on a scale that isn't just like small, I'm talking like we bring the entire fucking system to a stop. And just like that, it fades into history like it never happened, right? So you'd hope, but actually it'd probably be fire. Help, there's a fire. So I want to know, right? Like, what happens when you're really, really honest with the world and yourself? Does the system destroy you for that honesty? Are you supposed to lie in order to fit in and help protect other people's feelings and lives? I don't know how to reconcile that, and I've never known how to reconcile that. I've only recently had to try to reconcile that. I'm trans. More than that, I'm just different. Very strange, very special snowflake, very unique, very troubled, but also, I think, very, very, like, brilliant is, like, the wrong word, because, like, I'm not, like, intellectual, but there's something inside that's like, huh, okay. Whatever it is that I'm doing seems to be not a little, but extremely different from what a lot of people are doing. Especially the things that people, I think, are told to conceive of as successful and popular. Things like fame, things like TikTok. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't aspire to also get more TikTok viewers. I get that. It's that I don't aspire to monetize my channel in a way that's, like, healthy for their ecosystem. I just am telling the truth and I happen to be backboning off of their technological platform. And, like, until they boot me, that's just how it is. It's just how it is. So in most ways, they probably know me better than I know myself. And it'd be interesting to, like, pay them to make the video about me. Like, run statistical analysis on me. tell me everything that you can. Like, run the background check. Like, what's the most expensive background check? Like, take it as seriously as a medical problem, you know? Like, as a philosophy, I think that this could be like a really new, interesting way to address mental health issues, where like we could pay an insurance adjuster to call up the agency that supplies remote online therapists, and we could tell them, you have to lower your deductible and your overhead, and you need to start using these credentials or we will stop giving you money. And they're like, oh, fine, we'll actually get some like licensed mental health counselors, social workers, whatever it is, to sit on the computers instead of just random interns that we're paying to like work under the license of some like barely qualified pseudo psychologist, but like has maybe real psychologist if it's to get money, right? Like all these different app services, what are they really selling you? They're selling you direct contact for something that you need. Like, you need help. If you want help from a licensed social worker, click this stupid app. If you're fed up with that system, if you're up to your fucking eyeballs in fake solutions, call us. Here's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take your user history, right? We're gonna run a background search on you, and we're not even to like uncover the truth if you're a criminal, but to try to see, like, you're gonna give us your password, right? You're gonna give up your privacy to us, and we're not gonna sell it because we don't even want it. It's actually dangerous to us to hold it. Oh, you say we do learn something about you that we shouldn't, right? Are we mandated reporters for knowing it? I don't know. I don't want to find out. So we'll have to come up with solutions for that, and we'll tell you it honestly. Right? Like, this is a legal thing. You're giving us access to your healthcare information. And what is your healthcare information? It is 5 to 6 months worth of your chat logs and your search history and your internet browser history, including your pornography consumption. There's no judgments being made. It's like, who do you think we're taking money from? Access to your deepest, maybe not desires, but the deepest understanding of oneself. Like, the whole psychological profile. Like, if you want, like a psychologist to sit there and ask you questions to get to know what mental illness that you could be diagnosed with, that's fine. Good luck with that. That's actually a good thing to go try. But if you want something that doesn't exist yet, that will exist in the future, which is like an online digital analyst to work for you and not the person who's paying them right now, which is the person who's also, coincidentally, trying to also sell something to you at a markup and at scale, because they're trying to find not you, but who else is you, and how can they create what you looks like. And if you doesn't exist, how they can make a you. Ooh, this smells good. And if you are a tree, at what level that your wood cutting has to be, and also your fletching. Pick flax for like 30 hours. So, I think that would be like a really good investment of money to go see if there's like a service that does that. Like bro, we are not just running background checks. That's a stupid way to look at it. We're trying to help people evolve when they're ready. No, we can't cure quadriplegic. No, we can't cure cancer. But we may be able to tell people that have cancer, we may not. But we may be able to tell people that have like cancer, for example, like, these are your core 6 biggest fears. These are your core 6 biggest frustrations. We may not be able to help with that. Here's your core 6 childhood traumas, or more. And here's how they interact with you as an adult. This is what therapy is. But we're using therapy in a different way because we're using information that is actually maybe more objective than what is reported by the observer. Does that make sense? Like, if you don't know that you're a closet transsexual by the time you're 30, yes, you do. Or maybe you really, really don't because you've just never heard of it. Maybe we can show you that solution because you wouldn't even have thought that dysphoria was a word or a problem until we looked at your search history and we were like, oh, have you tried hormones? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're absolutely desperate to stay in the closet, right? And so you look to us to, like, it's not AI. AI is like, people can go sell AI all they want. AI will look like it's what we're doing because it'll copy what we're doing and it'll mimic it the same way that a toddler draws an airplane. Oh yeah, it's definitely discernibly an airplane, but it's not the same thing and it cannot fly. I want to build complex and robust systems, or more than I want to build complex and robust systems. I want to oversee teams of people. Shut up. This dude is really rude. That's the pileated woodpecker. And he's very rude. It's like Woody Woodpecker. We'll be right back after this. If it wasn't really obvious, I'm on a pretty, I'm not gonna say how much because I think that'd be inappropriate, but can you tell by how big my eyeballs are? You actually can't. They're actually surprisingly still normal size. Or maybe I just can't tell. No, they're like surprisingly normal actually. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting them to be like completely blown out. Or maybe I'm just lying. You wouldn't know the difference. You're on the other side of the screen. But my fingers still smell like Yara. Sorry, I hit pause by mistake. So right now, as I walk, I'm in like the worst spot in the cemetery. Not really. Like, it's beautiful. I love this spot. It's just that like if I get here and I go this way, it's perfect because I start and I go all the way up. But I'm descending, which means that I have to ascend the entire thing. So that's gonna be a little frustrating to go the entire way up and around because there's really no other way to go. Like, it's this way or no other way, or I just like I leave. Like, this is the way I'd be going if I'm going out, but I'm not. I'm only halfway done with the day, so a little frustrating. But it's okay. I don't mind walking up a hill. It's just not ideal. Like, ideally, I walk the other path so that it's less steep and lasts longer, and that the longest portion of the steepest area is you just walk it downhill because you just walk slowly up and then all the way down. So, yeah. So it's 4:31 on the dot, and we're at the corner of North Ridge at the Cemetery Ave. Now, with very little breaks, I'm about to, well, I'll probably take actually quite a long break, but yeah, actually, yeah, I probably will take a break, but I may walk all the way up this, turn around, and walk all the way back down it, honestly. Because this is no cap, probably about an hour to the top from here. Maybe that's wrong, but at least a half hour. At least a half hour. And so yeah, so if I take breaks, it could be like a straight up hour up to the top. This is, it's very long. But I don't mind. I just hope I don't get chased by Puchianas. They live over there. I've heard them. They've stalked me here. Really. We'll be back when there's something to film. It's 4:40. You can't see it, but I'm listening to the same nonsense. It's self-contradictory in too many ways for me to ignore. Where it's like, it sounds very appealing if you're the type of person who is drawn to this type of like facade. They're like, oh yes, we are the real way. We're so cool. Oh. Wow. About halfway. Actually 20 minutes to the top. I didn't take any breaks because I wanted to see. So I just got here and it's exactly 4:49. So we're at Linden, top of Linden and North Ridge. Well, at the top of the North Ridge and Linden. Yeah. This way. No breaks. It's now 5:05 p.m. and we just are making it to Cypress and Southridge. So, just if you want to know how far it takes to walk. Well, what time was it when we were at the bottom of the hill? I don't remember. So it's 5:15, and we're approaching the edge of the cemetery on the way out. So it's been a really good day. I really appreciate you guys for joining me, and we'll be back again another time. Wow, look at this. That's incredible. Wow. Thin ice, deep water, stay away. It's funny because it's there even in the summer. They don't take these signs down at all. So in the summer it's like thin ice, and you're like, that's not true. Stop lying to me, son.